Brentford for a very long time, played a very specific brand of football under Thomas Frank. What do you think Keith has done so far to this team?
I think when he first came in, he was at Sheffield United doing set pieces, doing support on the grass, and he's came in to look after that sort of organisation, and he felt obviously under Thomas Frank he's going to learn so much detail. The players were hungry. He wanted the exact message to get across, that they always felt that every bit of detail was important, and he's learnt a lot, and he's sat back and he's watched and he's developed. Now he's got his opportunity. I think what was always hard, I don't know if Jermaine thinks the same, is when the players were leaving, you're looking at his squad and going, the first time you get a chance, then you look like you're really weak and you're not going to be able to compete. But he's got to find a formula. Thomas Frank went really direct. It was a set-piece game, and then he had to re-evolve and find a settled way of playing, more possession, and that got him onto his next step of management. So I think he's got all the tools, Keith. He's just got a really limited squad, and he's still trying to find the answers, but he'd be delighted with the start so far, and I don't blame him for going with what he's gone to try and stay in the game, because then he knows his tools with the long throws and set pieces are going to come in. I'm
looking at the stats here. Compared to last season under Thomas Frank, Brentford have got a record that is almost identical after 6 games. The only thing that's different is that they have conceded a bit more. They're also dropping points from winning positions a bit more. But at the same time, I think the one that really catches the eye is how clinical they've been up front, because Brentford have the second best shot conversion rate in the Premier League as it stands, just behind Manchester City. So they are making chances really count at the minute, I mean.
Yeah, of course. In any game you're playing in the Premier League, that you're looking to create opportunities, and it's just a matter of whether you've got the quality up top to put that ball in the back of the net. I think over the years Brentford have done really well from players like Ivan Toney and Jan Visser, up top who have delivered. And I think that's where Igor has been put under an immense amount of pressure to kind of follow up from those players that have really delivered and gone on to pastures new. But last week we saw what he's capable of. We know that if you give him opportunities, then he'll stick that ball away. And as you said, I think. All right.
Do you think they'll be okay, this team? Do you think there's enough in it, or do you still feel like it's in the balance for them? Do you know where of that bottom end of the?
I still think they'll be down there. I have to say, I think at the start of the season, I fancied that they'd be one of the teams that would go down. But that was purely and simply based on the fact that they'd lost Thomas Frank, they'd lost his structure, they'd lost some of their best players, and it just seemed a little bit chaotic. But then actually when I came to watch them last week, I had a completely different view on it. I thought they looked very organised. And the other good thing as well, which can be difficult, when you promote from within a football club, the players don't always take to it. It can be very difficult, because Keith would have had a certain relationship with the players from a coach's perspective. Yeah. And when you change that dynamic into management...
See, speaking for experience here.
I've seen it, yeah.
Morning, boss. Keith.
But this is what happens. All of a sudden, he wants to become gaffer all of a sudden, and that relationship changes, and sometimes it doesn't go down well in the dressing room, but he's clearly had a good enough relationship with these players, and he's just probably slowly doing it to the point where I'm watching them last week thinking these players are playing for him. So I don't think, I don't see them going down. I just think that you know what it's like when you get around Christmas and New Year and those fixtures come thick and fast. A few injuries pop up.
They needed a few wins early, didn't they?
He did, yeah.
I think that's the point, because straight away he was on the back foot early on, and he was desperate for a couple of results. He's got that now. He's got a striker in forms, putting the ball in the net, and now a different way of playing as well. So I feel like he's on the right track.